everybody, we're back. My first guest is an Emmy award-winning actor who can be seen Sunday nights on the new ABC series Boston Legal. Please welcome James Spader. It's always good to toast the crowd. That's a great way to butter up the crowd before a segment. I toast you, yes.
I have cash, too.
Yeah, that's all right. During the commercial break, you can work your way around.
Some guy right behind the curtain there just said to somebody else, I think I might have screwed up the lobster.
That's what it's like backstage here. A lot of recrimination.
No. You've got a great repertory company. I'm telling you, I was watching them come off, and they were.
These are the best people.
I'm going home and locking up the Emmy.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about that. All right. I was there. I was at the Emmys. I saw you win this, and were you surprised that you won? You were up against Gandolfini. This is a very tough category to win in.
I was a long shot, I think.
Do you have the actual numbers?
Yeah, I had a very good friend of mine is a fairly good handicapper. And I was talking to him months ago when the nominations were announced. Right. And I think I was 7-1.
What a good friend.
Yeah.
This is.
No, I was 7-1.
By the way, you're 7-1.
Yeah, and then he calls me a week later to say, well, you've gone to 6-2. But I was still it was going to take a muddy track for me to win, and apparently it was a hurricane, and I won. So.
Yeah. Well, you must be happy about that. That's got to be good news.
Yeah, no, of course.
Now, sometimes to prepare for a segment, I go and I watch the segment from last time, just to sort of see what we talked about last time. And it was a very unusual interview with you. Last time, I'm talking to James Spader, that's you, and the whole segment, the entire segment, you talked about how you like eggs.
Yes.
The whole segment, and it was very entertaining.
You guys like eggs?
And strange.
I mean, really, think about it. I eat more eggs than than any other food. I must eat eggs probably. I spent last time talking about eggs.
Yeah, the last time was all eggs. Now, are you still thinking about eggs, or have you moved on to another food at least?
No, it's the fall now.
What is it? Fall? So what do you think about in the fall?
We're right now, like beginning to mid-October is the beginning of the white truffle season, which is really, that is, to me, the greatest food on earth.
White truffles, really?
I know last time I said eggs are the most perfect food, but surprisingly enough, the most perfect thing to have with white truffles is eggs, in its most simple. Really,
so you take some eggs and then you get these white truffles. And what do you do?
It all starts the night before, because the white truffles, usually you get them in some sort of in a risotto or something to keep it dry. You have to keep them very dry. They arrive from Italy, in a plain brown package, still in dirt with bugs and worms, and the FDA is not very pleased about white truffles coming in. But anyway, it's like, they go to Colombia and then they come straight from Colombia up here. And they arrive and you have to keep them dry in risotto. And then so the night before you put the eggs
This is not the Food Network, Chapo.
Okay. Hold on.
This is all changed.
You put the eggs in a closed container with the truffles. And I'm telling you, the strangest thing is eggs, their shell is like a sponge. And you leave it overnight and you wake up the next morning and you crack open an egg and it smells and tastes like truffles.
So the egg has absorbed
the
essence of the truffle.
Completely, that sort of musky, sexy,
Sexy?
great.
How is it sexy? Does it make you think of, do you think it's sexy? Truffles are sexy?
Think of? It doesn't make you think of sex.
Don't hit me. What happened here? We're talking about truffles, and suddenly it's a barroom brawl that's breaking out.
If you're gonna drop,
back off, dude.
If you're gonna drop, several $100s on some truffles, you better get laid that night. So you're not thinking about it.
So do you often think of this?
If you start the night, they always say oysters are an aphrodisiac, and oysters, I think, they're great, a great sexy food. They're, and if you start the night with oysters, move on to truffles with eggs or something, and end up with chocolate and drink champagne throughout, you're getting laid that night.
Wow. That's an incredible prediction.
And if you aren't getting laid that night, after that meal, go run a bath and, take a nice bath and masturbate and go to bed, and you're going to be happy as anything.
Now you're talking my language. There you go. So So anyway, how often, I get the impression now that you think about sex a lot. Is that true? That a lot of things make you think of sex. Is that fair to say?
Isn't that what everybody's thinking about all the time?
Really? Oh,
I think. Don't you? I think about it all the time.
No, I don't think about it all the time.
You don't?
No. I think when I was younger, I thought about it all the time. But no, I don't think about it all the time.
But you don't think, no, but I don't mean, I don't mean, not to be silly, but I don't mean in terms of you're just thinking about, who's, I mean, I think it's part of everything in our culture. I mean, everything in our culture.
Right.
In the way you dress and the way you operate with other people around you, or, male or female. And when you're dealing with another male, there's, the sort of alpha males dealing with one another. That's all about sexuality. And then, dealing with any female you run into during the course of the day. I don't know where it starts, whether, she wants to have sex with you or you want to have sex with her, or who cares where that's,
So you were literally, I'm getting an insight. I'm getting an insight.
Very different lives.
Look at you. Look what is happening here now with the rub down. A little right up here, a little tense. No, I'm just curious. I am getting the feeling that when you just see two people, like you're talking to two people, are you thinking sexually about those two people?
Right. Well, not those two guys in the front row, but besides them.
I was thinking about, anyway.
Yeah. No, I guess I just, I see it a lot. I see it in, what I read and what you listen to, and I love listening to music.
That's a good Friday.
I swear to God, I don't know what the hell that is. Is someone's mic on backstage?
That must be one of your players.
I have no idea what that is. That is not a bit. That is not a joke. What is that? What's that?
Sound effects got fed into the studio.
But why did a man's voice just say, "Now that's a good Friday"?
Well, maybe you said that's Good Friday. It was just someone having a very slow reaction to my meal plan that I suggested.
You think someone listened to your food description?
I think they did.
How would that happen on a professional TV show? What's that?
We're recording something for a bit in the future.
And they're pre-recording it while we're doing a show now? What kind of crappy show is this? Seriously. What the hell's going on here?
Listen,
I love it. They tell me you got to move this show right along. You can't waste any time. And then they're feeding these lines through on.
Is there anything we can do to help them out with that recording?
Yeah, is there anything we can do? Who is it? Do we know whose fault it is?
Can we bring him down here?
You know what the sad thing? The guy on the phone doesn't even work on this show. That's an audience member who stepped forward, grabbed a phone, and is trying to figure out. I love it. Now we're out of time. Well, we were getting into the sexy stuff, and I think you were giving me a back rub when this ended.
I was going to start.
You were going to serve me some truffles?
You had your jacket part way off.
Yeah. Man. I can't even remember anything. That's just, I'm in this zone. When I do a celebrity interview, I know it looks like I'm just some idiot going, but I'm actually in an incredible zone. You feel it, don't you?
I feel it when I'm looking at you. Thus, back to the sex talk that we were having before. It's that zone.
It's that zone we're in. It's like a sexual experience, the two of us.
Yes. Well...
Yeah,
yes,
not really.
Sort of.
Well, it's ending on a disappointing note.
We're going to need a lot of champagne and eggs.
All right. Boston Legal premieres Sunday at 10 on ABC. I promise you, the next time you come, if there is a next time, this will be a professional interview. I swear to you. Thank you so much. You're a good man. James Spader. Amy Poehler, I'll be right back. I have no idea. I have no idea. That was weird. That was one of the more screwed up things we've done here. I don't know what's happening backstage.